Hello everyone, my name is P. Harita and the subject is engineering mechanics and the topic taken from the engineering mechanics is wedge friction. Topic is wedge friction. Coming to the first slide, we know about the wedge friction in general. A wedge is in general a triangular object which is placed between poles to either hold them in place or is used to move one relative to the other. Note that for the wedge to move, one needs to have slip on all three surfaces. The direction of the friction force on each surface will oppose the slip. You can understand about the wedge in this slide. The wedge is mainly a triangular object. It is placed between the two objects to stop the relatively to connect relatively each other and to stop the slipping surfaces on three surfaces. If you need to slip any surface, you need to slip three surfaces at the same time. So the direction of the friction force on each surface will oppose the slipping. If you apply the force on one surface, it will also oppose the slipping on the another surface, which is related to each other. Coming to the next slide, wedges have the effect of following uses to create very large normal forces. It mainly in wedges they create the normal forces very large to move objects with relatively small input force. Due to the formation of the large normal forces, it mainly relatively gives us small input forces. The friction forces in wedge systems tends to be very large though and can reduce the effectiveness of wedges. If in mainly wedges, if we apply the frictional forces in wedges systems, it tends to very large though. It means it reduces the effectiveness of the wedges. If you apply the force means the wedges of the three surfaces may move. So means it reduces the effectiveness of the wedges we use. A hammer is used to push this wedge into crack in the slope. Because of the three objects placed, we usually may use the hammer to push the wedge to move here and there. Then here is the in the coming the next slide. Here we can see the different wedges frictions. Coming to the first figure, you can observe this is a slant. We taken the as a downside part, which is here. It is in the triangular shape, as we seen in the first. It is in a triangular object. First part is the wedge. You can see this part is the wedge first part, and the next second part which is attached to the wedge is the body, in which the weight is in the downward direction as we see here. This is the support to the body and this is the support to the wedge, and the P is the applied force to the wedge as we see in the first figure. Coming to the second figure, here you can see the body which is acting the uh, angles and the weight and the here first coming to here we can see the formation of the angle and that we taken as R12. And coming to the downwards, here wedges land as we seen in the first figure. Here R23, another angle is forming and the weight is acting to the downward to the gravitational force, towards the gravitational force. And here C, coming to the figure C, here you can take the wedge. Third figure being mainly based on the weight. Here P is nothing but the applied force and R23 is the angle acting on the wedge in the upper direction. We take this angle as R23. And coming to the slant downward angle acting is R34. It acts down. It acts from the gravitational force to the wedge as we see in the figure. These are the mainly three figures which mainly include the main basic topics of the wedge friction. We take the wedge as the triangular object and the body is mainly rectangular or any shape, square or any shape, and how the forces are acting and how the angles are forming at the wedge frictions. Here we take the applied force as P for the wedge friction and we take the two supports as here one at the wedge and one at the body. I think you understood. Then coming to the, we take an example of wedge friction, how to calculate. So let us start here this post with the basics of wedge friction. The problem is mainly based on the Basics of bridge friction. We also find out here the way to solve the friction problems. And here you can also see the how the way to solve the friction related problems based on the bridge friction. And finally, we see the concept of self-locking in engineering mechanics at the end of the course. And first, we mainly the problems is based on the wedge friction, and the last the concept of self-locking in engineering mechanics. A wedge is basically defined as a simple tool, as we see in the figure, which is a triangular object or device which is used to lift the heavy load. You've seen in the previous line, a wedge is used to support the body or to adjust the position of the body, etc. A wedge is basically a piece of metal, either it may be wooden or triangular or trapezoidal shape was displayed here in the following figure. You can take the wedge of any piece, like mainly we can use metal or wood or triangular shape or trapezoidal shape according to our wish and according to it depends upon the object. And the wedge is nothing but a basic simple tool we use to lift up heavy loads. Uh, it, it mainly gives support to the heavy loads. So here we are going to define about the problem. This is the figure we have taken, and this P is not this yellow color shaded part is nothing but wedge, and this blue color shaded part is nothing but this is what this is the body. We have taken the weight load. A force P is applied over the wedge to lift the body whose weight is W. Let us assume that the angle of the wedge is alpha. Here, that P is nothing but the force applied to the wedge. Here, you can see the arrow mark as shown to the wedge. And here alpha is nothing but the angle of the wedge, which here forms in between the wedge and the body. And this is taken as the support to the wedge and the body, which mainly it helps us to know about the it is used for the lifting of the body, whose weight is here taken as W. It acts downwards to the it acts towards the gravitational force. Coming to the free body diagram. Free body diagram is very important to solve any problem in any friction or any types. Here in which friction we draw the free body diagram according to the little place of the previous slide we seen here. Here you can see the free body diagram. Free body diagram as shown below indicates the various forces such as reaction forces, frictional forces, and force applied external that be here. Here you can observe in free body diagram, many forces are applied here, like the chemical reaction forces, which are reacting after we applied certain forces, and the frictional forces, and applied external forces also we use like P. Here you can see the external force P and normal force in which direction to the downwards, and coming to the object weight as upwards, and the frictional force acting at in which it is acting opposite to the force. In coming to the body, it is acting towards the opposite to the normal. And in coming to the last slab, we take the support. N3 is the normal force acting towards the body, and F3 is the force acting downwards. Here in the which there are only two forces acting, the normal force and the frictional force in two directions. As we in the support we are taken and the body we have taken. This is the free body diagram, and with the help of the free body diagram, you can use to solve the problem. Coming to the next step, there will be three normal reaction forces as we seen in the previous slide, and in the free body diagram we take that is nothing but N1, N2, and N3, and similarly three frictional forces F1, F2, and 3. These are the N1, N2 are the nothing but the normal forces, and F2, F1, F3 are nothing but the frictional force. With coming to N1, normal reaction force acting on the body by the weight. N1 is nothing but the normal reaction acting on the force of the body. N2, normal reaction force acting by the ground over the wedge. It is acting at the ground over the wedge. N3, normal reaction force acting on the body due to the vertical support provider. We take the support provided at the vertical, it is acting the N3. W, weight of the body need to be lifted or which position need to be adjusted, as we seen in the previous slide. P is nothing but the external force applied by us over the wedge in order to push the wedge. Because we are calculating the weight, no, we have to need to push the wedge with the help of the external force to lift the body. And the F1 is taken as mu s into N1. Frictional force acting between the contact surfaces of the wedge and the body. And coming to the F2, mu s into N2. Frictional force acting between the contact surface of the wedge and the ground. F1 is taken at the wedge and the body, and F2 is taken at the wedge and the ground. F3 equals to mu s into N. Frictional force acting between the contact surfaces of the vertical support provided by the body, which is used F3 as vertical support provided by the body. This all we can see in the free body diagram in this slide. This is about the forces which we include. Then coming to the final, how we take the equation from the figure. Let us write here the static equilibrium equations of the weights. We can write the static equilibrium equations. Then the sigma fx equals to 0, means horizontal component equals to 0, minus p plus mu s into n2 plus mu s into n1 cos alpha plus n1 sin alpha. Because we are taking the horizontal component as sine, here we are using the wedge and the body, so we are taking the cos and sine values, which is equals to 0. And coming to the vertical component, sigma fi equals to 0. The equation we obtain is n2 minus n1 cos alpha plus mu s into n1 sin alpha equals to 0. Similarly, we will write here the static equilibrium equations of the body or block. We can write the static equilibration for the body or block. N3 minus N1 sin alpha minus mu x into N1 cos alpha. Then the final determination equation is minus W, means nothing but weight, A plus mu s into N3 minus mu s into N1. Here you can see the mu s, what is the mu s and N3. Mu s N3 support provided to the body, and the mu s into N2 is nothing but the wedge and the ground. Therefore, we can determine the unknown forces by using these four equations. If you take about an object, if you take a body, and if you need to determine the forces acting on the body, you can take the wedge friction, and you can use with the help of the mainly we can with the help of the free body diagram only. It is easy to find the equations because it is easy to know the where the forces are acting. It is in the free body diagram, it is clear to observe. And let us take a review of the wedge friction. This is the problem we have taken. This is the figure of the first main figure, and this is the free body diagram we have taken, how the forces are acting on the body. And this is about the problem related. This is about the wedge friction, how it may be like it is maybe triangular shape the body, and where the angle is incidenting on the. This is about the wedge friction, and this how the wedge friction forms. This is all about the wedge frictions. So thank you.